Hello and welcome back to Church Online. I hope your new year has started off well. What a great and timely message last week from Pastor Trevor about resolutions. Now, if you didn't get to see it, you can still catch up today on our YouTube channel. Now, quick building update. We're working closely with Building Control now to make sure that the ground outside is safe, especially at the exit door where our new escape staircase is and the main entrance where you will enter and exit the building. Now, we're very confident this can be carried out smoothly, allowing us to get that all-important certificate signature from Building Control, which is the official go-ahead for us to open the doors to you. Now, I'll also be bringing you one of my building updates on Friday, so make sure you check that out on the social pages. And as always, go ahead, like and share so people can see the progress. We're even closer to completion. Every week is another job done inside, another dump run to be organised, furniture to be built, and I'm excited now to see the worship team in, checking out their new home on stage, getting used to the new layouts and some new equipment. It's exciting to see the rooms all furnished, and the inside of the building is pretty much good to go. The only thing missing is you. And I hope to see so many of you back, and I can't wait to see so many of those new faces too. That's why I was joking around last time in my message when I said you need to start getting yourself ready for church. The break is over. You'll need to have a word with yourself not to sleep in now on Sundays anymore. We are just about getting ready to dance again, and you know I'll dance by myself. I'll have no problem moving around that stage, but it would be nice to see you there enjoying our Sunday service again. Now, so much is changing around us. Our places of work have changed, our friend circles and relationships have changed, even our local Tesco has changed. So much around us is not the same anymore. And when we come back to church, that experience will have totally changed for you and me as well. Our relationships with each other have changed, and our trust in each other has also changed, some for the good and some for the bad. Our trust in a lot of things over the past month has been questioned. Trust in vaccines, trust in boosters, face coverings, washing and sanitizing our hands, trust in our government leaders. Are they doing what you believe is the right thing to do? Or even our work leaders and our church leaders, are they doing what you believe is the right thing to do? One thing though is for sure. Our trust in Jesus should still be absolute. Now, the other night I was reading my son a bedtime story. He gets a story every night and then he just turns over and he falls to sleep. Yeah, right. Anyways, his bedtime story that he chose was all about the man who built his house on the sand. Now, to be honest, I think he just wanted to see the pictures of the man's house falling over. Nonetheless, he got the full story and the lesson that came with it. And that story is really about trust. Now, Jesus says in Matthew chapter 7, verse 24, "Anyone who listens to my teaching and follows it is wise, like a person who builds a house on solid rock." Now, skipping forward to verse 26, "But anyone who hears my teaching and does not obey it is foolish, like a person who builds a house on sand." Now, we know the story and we know the teaching, the importance of not only listening to the advice, direction and instruction from Jesus, but to follow it through and act on it. In other words, trust in everything he says. After all, he's the light of the world. Now, Jesus had a half-brother. His name was James, and he grew up with Jesus. James was a younger brother, and he looked up to Jesus as his bigger brother, like most siblings do, especially at that younger age. So, what James's account of Jesus in those 5 in-depth chapters must surely stem from his experiences with Jesus. James experienced the light of the world firsthand, not only in public view, but as we like to refer to, he saw Jesus behind closed doors, which is great. Now, our common enemy, the devil, wants to convince us that we can't trust this light. I mean, just look around the world right now. The devil doesn't want us to entrust our lives to this light. He wants to confuse us with thoughts of we know better, we'll make the decisions for our own lives without any guidance. In fact, we'll make the decision and we'll just let Jesus know what we're going to be doing. Didn't you get the memo, Jesus? Over the past couple of years, it's been very easy to lose sight of that light, especially when the TV media and social media have played such a massive part in our lives, not only in updates and instructions, but through boredom and then giving us absolute destruction of friendships and relationships with lies and deception, calling our trust into question. Both TV, media and social media constantly telling us about the terrible state of the world, and the enemy then following that with a whisper of, your God is not in control anymore. Then we focus too much on our fears, which are then heightened by those lies and deception by people who suddenly claim to be experts in something the world is still trying to make sense of, and we then end up frightened by our own shadow. We know we shouldn't do it. We know we shouldn't let TV and social media do that to us, influence us, but we still do. So, in Romans 8:31, Paul says, what then shall we say in response to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? And I love this translation and how it says the word response. What is our response to the enemy when he comes for us during a pandemic through TV and social media? Well, you see, here's the thing. If God is for us, which is exactly what Paul had been saying throughout chapter 8, with verse 31, he was drawing a conclusion from all these things to say, no one can successfully be against us. Our enemy wants us to doubt Jesus, but we know that's because our enemy can't stand the light of the world. And for us, we can't function without this light in our lives. The solution is simple. Look only to the light. We must take control of our emotions and resist the devil. We must trust Jesus wholeheartedly and surrender our lives to his guidance. If you have fear, then the closer you move towards the light, the further you are away from those shadows. And again, that's what Paul is telling us in Romans 8:31. With Jesus on our side, nobody can successfully stand up against us. Our earthly fears are nothing to Jesus. He is in control of all creation. He is always there for us. He loves us, and he is the answer to all our fears. How is it possible to want anything else? From the half-brother of Jesus himself, we get this amazing testament of this light. So I want to encourage you, when you are blinded by your fears, think about what Paul says in Romans 8:31. Remember how much Jesus loves you and that he will always be with you and protect you. And when you're having trust issues with your friends or government leaders, remember to put your whole trust in Jesus. And when you do that, remember you're putting it on solid rock. And that rock is a sure foundation to build and continue your life. I'll see you next time.